That was quite a story, Gimli. The story of the war at Bazaar. I remember hearing some rumors about it over time, such as from Nar. Well, what do you think about it, Vanko?
Gloin speaks as if only Longbeards fought at Azanul Bazaar, but it was not so.
Right, warriors from every dwarf clan came together to fight the orcs at Bazaar, and my people too numbered among the burned dwarves. Indeed, the Joruka know the pain of a life in exile as well as the Longbeards ever did, and we still do. Well, and I can imagine the opinion of the stout axes on being exiled considering where they've been stuck for the last few years.
I know that tale.
Yes, the dwarves of my clan fought in that war as well. Not so many as the Longbeards or the other dwarf clans, perhaps, but there was glory earned by stout axes in Oznubazar. Indeed, I would claim a greater share of the glory, for what was Khaza doomed to the stout axes? Theirs was a selfless battle, born out of friendship with the other clans and hatred for their shared and ancient enemies. The Longbeards might do well to remember the heroism of my people in those years and treat them with greater respect. Well, what do you say about that, Gloin? Uh, Was that a stone bat or something? What do you say, Gloin?
I meant no offense, my companions.
Yes, I didn't forget the contributions of the other clans of Azanubazar. Bindleaf will vouch for me. Did I not speak of those very contributions to Durin before we departed from Scarhold? Of course I did. Indeed, the other clans are not descended from Durin the Deathless, but they revere him still as the oldest of the dwarves, the first to awake. Any insult to his heirs is an insult to all dwarves, and no dwarf clan will permit such a cruelty as that was done by Azog, the fearsome orc that slew Thor, the father of Thrain. Each of the clans responded, and so it was that Azog met his doom. There was glory enough for all, of course. There was, and triumph not just for Durin's folk, but for all. You know that to be true. I did not mean to offend. I did not mean to offend. Uh, Maybe I should eat something. Little, not too silent, a bit munchy there. Anything here to drink? Ah, that was refreshing.
I spoke over hastily, for I am skilled with my axe, but less so with words.
Yes, if Gimli were here, he would speak with much more polish than I did. He has always been more well spoken than I, and he has a better grasp of the niceties than his father ever had. By my beard, Pineleaf, what is that expression you wear? Have you not found that to be true? I think father and son are a little bit closer than you think.
I think that is enough rest for now.
Yes, let's go find that raiding party before this old dwarf trips upon his own beard and offends our companions further. Few people live in these lands, but I understand the forebearers of the Rohirrim once lived alongside the Anduin somewhere in the Mist Hollow. Their town was named Framsburg, and I expect it lies on the rocky spur to the west of us. Let us see if anyone lives there now, and find out what they may know about the raiding party from Gundabad. I will help put away our campsite and meet you there, Pineleaf. Very well. I will meet you at the ruins of Fromsburg. I think this is the way Gimli sent me. Right over this bridge shall be the ruins of Bromsburg. Oh, I guess he meant that bridge. It doesn't look as stable, but I'm a hobbit, so I shouldn't weigh too much. So let me get across before the dwarves do. Can I get down here without... Hey, oops. Oops. Ouch! 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 Well, I've had worse falls. Now, let's see. I suppose it's not the worst bridge I've gone across. I've gone through a lot worse. I mean, just consider some of the other bridges. Oh, Loin beat me here. The town of Frostburg has long since fallen into disrepair. Yeah. Well, seeing that all the people there have moved to Rohan, I guess that's likely.
We did not come here for nothing. The town may still speak to us.
When I hoped this town might be inhabited, I was thinking of men, not worms, drakes, and beasts. These creatures may not have willingly allowed the raiding party to pass, but neither will they tell us anything of use. A few orcs may wander among the ruins, but we seek not one or two. We are looking for more substantial forces. We did not come here for nothing, though. The town may still speak to us of the Orcs' Passage. Search for signs of the raiding party within the ruins of Fromsburg, Pineleaf, and slay these other foes while you do so. Men may not live in Fromsburg now, but Durin has his sights set upon Gundabad to the north, and these creatures will pose a threat to any army passing nearby. Thinning their numbers can only be a boon for further things. Yes, so defeat creatures, explore 3 locations in Fromsburg, and everything will be fine. Probably should focus on the stuff that we're likely not to want to eat, because if it's something that's edible, like that rabbit there, we'd want the army to have something to eat. Now these annoying bats here, though, are another matter. Yeah, we can get rid of those without any trouble. As for the moose, maybe I'll try to keep them up, but sometimes those moose can get rather feisty. Yeah. So it probably depends on how feisty the moose are before I decide what to do about them. If they're too feisty, we don't want the army going around going at... Oh, another one? Really? I'm just here to explore. Well, I'll also kill some creatures, so I suppose could take offense at that little bit there. There you go. Now, where were we? Let's see if I can find anything in here. Here's a nice place to reflect on things. Any place useful here? Now, there's a creature that definitely bears killing. Something from Gundabad, most likely. Let's head out to the more northerly parts of the ruins. That's just the central part of the ruins I was exploring there. These ruins seem to be much more extensive than I thought, but when you consider that there's a Rohirrim city here in the past, well, proto-Rohirrim, I guess, more likely, since they were quite Rohan back in those days, but since there was a large settlement there, I presume it's a little bit more extensive than a couple of buildings. There you go. Let's see if there's anything of use in this area. The orcs most likely came through here, right? Or not? Oh, these ruins are filled with worm nests, but no signs of a raiding party. Well, I guess they didn't. It also seems to be filled with bats, if you ask me. Yep, bats all over the place. I have a feeling this is what's really going to have the Dwarven army worried. For all these bats all over the place. Whew. Now let's see if I check a few other places. Few have encountered the Otog the Vile and lived to tell the tale of him, but one matter they all agree: you do not want to encounter Otgond. The worm has feasted upon at least a score of travelers unfortunate enough to find themselves lost among the rocky crabs of the Mist Hollow during the last 6 months, and in that time he has grown larger and bolder than before. You should put an end to this vile Ontog before everyone else is lost as this insatiable hunger. Well, right. Yeah, glowing. Certainly wove quite a tale on that one. I have no idea if I'm going to run into him or not. Let's see. I'm not going to worry about flies. Right. Wind whistles among the cracked stones, but there are no sign of the raiders. Let's see if there is any sign of Otgond or anything like that. Because if there is, we are going to end him. What's that out there? Not Otgond, that's for sure. Now let's see if we can find this pesk. I think I just spotted something up ahead. Well, that looks like a nice big worm. See if I could ambush it. Oh, just made it. Just made it. Hello. You wouldn't have to be Otgond or anything like that. A bit in my face, isn't he? Well, and we got this cat here also wanting to join in our little battle here. Well, I can oblige that cat later, but for now, let's take care of Otgond, because this one seems to be a bit of a handful. That's all I gotta say. There you go. Otgond will no longer stalk the rocky crags of the Mist Hollow. In time, the stories of him will fade, and few will believe that he feasted upon at least 20 travelers in only 6 months. How could one creature eat so many? They would ask in disbelief. How big did he grow? How vile was he in the end? They will marvel. Oh, so very vile, some may reply, just as finely, for she was there. Well, there is that. So much for Altgod. Ooh, this is quite a place. Impressive. But I don't know if the orcs would have gone in there if they came this way. Most likely, they might have camped outside for safety reasons. Well, if safety and orcs go together. What's this? From the mud, you pry a metal badge marked with the thundercloud symbol. And this looks like an orc badge. Well, that could be a problem. Maybe Glowing will know something about it. Hello there, Glowing. I found some disturbed earth as well as this badge.
What is this? I have seen metal badges of this type before.
Yes, the orcs carry badges such as these, most likely to identify the tribe to which they belong. No dwarf would need such a thing. Can you imagine a Longbeard needing to carry a marker to remind himself that he's a Longbeard? Maybe I shouldn't bother pointing out that he has all various symbols of all sorts on his clothing and weapons. Nah, I'll skip that. Anyway, I confess to you that this symbol is not one that I've encountered before. Yes, it looks like a thundercloud to me. Perhaps that is the identity of the band to which the raiding orcs belong. The downpour of woe, or the deluge of pain, or some other orcish nonsense. There is only one way onto or off of this rocky spur, Pineleaf, and the raiding party is no longer here. You found this badge close to the southern cliff's edge? It seems to me that the orcs stood there for a time, scouting their course, and this badge fell unnoticed as they did so. I think they must have followed the river south. That is where our path leads. So we may find some more tracks along the river to the south. Okie dokie. Gimli told me another story about someone called Malsbook. Tales of Malsbook, the hobgoblin, have spread far and wide, striking fear into the hearts of all those who hear them. It is said that only by facing him with might and courage can his reign of terror be ended. And you think you might just be the hobbit to accomplish it. I do. Why, I certainly have a high opinion of myself, don't I? Now, let's see. Well, that looks like a troll, not a hobgoblin. All sorts of nasty things in here. Mainly trolls and moose. Hold on. Ah! Malsbook! How about that? Just the hobgoblin I've been looking for. Hello. From one hob to another. Hobbit, hobgoblin. Quite a difference, isn't there? You know you're cramping my style, Moose. Just saying. This is the big, horrible, terrible Malsbook? Good grief. You're a disappointing foe, you know that? Excuse me, I think there's somebody more threatening around here. Now, let's see. Defeated, Malsbook. Tales of his Frosty might have been somewhat exaggerated. You put an end to the villainous tales of the hobgoblin Malsbook, who did not seem quite as fearsome as you expected. No, he did not. Still, you're certain that the end of his story will not spread as quickly as did his legend, as Malsbook will remain a frightful visage in which parents and frightened, misbehaved children. At least Malsbook himself will do no more harm in Mist Hollow, no matter what his legend might accomplish elsewhere. Oh yeah. It looks like I found Emok, and it looks like he found some tracks. Nice work.
Look at this.
Yes, tracks. And these were made by creatures walking on 2 legs, not on 4. They're made by orcs. Yeah. That's what it looks like. The raiding party descended from Fronsburg and came south, following the river.
These tracks were definitely made by the raiding party.
Yes, the party scouted the course from high above by the ruins of Fronsburg, and they followed it. And what do I get for finding this? Let's see. Alright. I guess I could look at that eventually.
We should continue following the river south, but not without caution.
Nothing about these tracks convinces me that the raiding party changed its chosen course, Pineleaf. We should continue following the river south, but not without caution. Let us remain alert for further signs of orcs. Very well. I shall continue southward. Southward, into Danger Downriver. This river certainly has a knack for having broken bridges, probably due to wars or something like that, but it also seems to have a number of tracks. More tracks. If the raiding party intended to cross the river here, the broken bridge prevented it. Whether that's good or bad, of course, is another matter. We also seem to have goblins all over here. As if the orcs weren't bad enough. And as everyone knows, there is one thing more annoying than a goblin. And that's a goblin riding a warg. Well, we'll deal with that. I'm sure we're going to run into many of those during our journeys. That was just the worst. Or first. That was the worst. That was the first. I could only hope that was also the worst. Ah, I seem to have found more tracks. You find more tracks, but these are speckled with blood. Speckled with blood. They're not having a good time, thankfully. The blood and the footprints both lead eastward. To the east. Well, I wonder what's going on there. Maybe they'll kill themselves before they reach any settlements. Ooh, what's this? A wounded orc? Maybe he'll know what that blood was all about. Stay back, vermin! You're no better than the treacherous slime that stabbed me. But Nochtug was surrounded by a company of his fiercest warriors, and you are not. They left me here to die, but I have strength enough to cut your throat before my life ends. Thorgrim's head sinks to his chest, and his sudden barking laugh seems to cause him a great deal of pain. Even so, he bares his teeth in a smile. If you are able to slay me somehow, do me this favor. Go to the village of the bear folk and slay Natsatug, that wretched villain. Well, or maybe your death will restore my strength and I'll kill him myself. Ha 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 ha! Well, we'll see. Let's see why I took a company of orcs and are bringing it. I wonder what did you do, by the way, that made them attack you, I wonder. You're not going to bother telling me. Oh, boy. Well, sounds like then that the orcs went this way. It looks like here is the village the orcs were heading for, but everything here looks so peaceful right now. What's going on? We have to find that out in the next episode of The Legacy of Durin.